We were studying about Asia, a land of contrast. In the last class, we studied about the location, extent, and physical setting and contrasting features of Asia. And also, we studied about the regional divisions and highlights of the contrasting features, and also the major physiographic divisions of India or of Asia. Now, let us move on to the major rivers and agriculture. Asia, children, is a land of mighty rivers. You can see all these are the rivers, which is in blue color. These are all the rivers. So, physical features and surrounding water bodies are affected by the river system of this continent. Asia is surrounded by the Arctic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, and the Indian Oceans. The majority of the rivers of this continent flow into these three oceans. So now we'll move on to the Indian Ocean river system. The major rivers of these groups are we are having the Euphrates, the Tigris of Syria and Iraq flow into the Persian Gulf, and the Sindhu and the Ganga and the Brahmaputra of India and Pakistan. Pakistan rises in the Himalaya and flow towards the southwards into the Indian Ocean. River Sittagong uh, and Salwin and Irrawaddy of Myanmar, they flow towards the Bay of Bengal, and also Bay of Bengal. Now we will move on to the Pacific Ocean. Pacific Ocean river system. It includes the river of Amur in Russia and Hwang-o, Jiang, and Sikigong of China. We are having it here, of China, which drain eastwards into the Sea of Okhotsk, the Yellow Sea, and the China Sea separately, China Seas respectively. Mekong and Menon of Indo-China flow into the South China Sea. And now we will move on to the Arctic Ocean river system. This includes the this includes the Obo, the Yanasi, and the Lena, which are the three biggest rivers of this groups. These rivers, children, they rise in the central highlands, flow towards the northwards and flow into the Arctic Ocean. Now then we are having the inland river system. The major rivers which drain into the inland seas are the Olga and the Ural, which flow into the Caspian Sea here. This is the Caspian Sea, which flow into the Caspian Sea, and Amur Daria and Sir the Daria, which flow these two flow into the Aral Sea. See children, here is the Aral Sea, this is the Caspian Sea. Now we will move on to the next topic, that is the agriculture in Asia. One of the most important occupation of the Asian people is the agriculture. About three-fourths of the people are engaged in agriculture. Agricultural products account for a major share of Asia's exports. There is a very close relationship between the river systems and farming in Asia. Agriculture, children, is largely practiced in river basins except in Siberia because of fertile soil and water supply through irrigation. In many Asian countries, most of the farmers use hand tools, and animals for cultivation. The also follow the intensive farming. There are other types of farming which they practice. We are having irrigation farming, dry farming, plantation farming, and mixed farming. So mixed farming means farming which system where both crops and the livestock farming is carried out together. We call that as a mixed farming. So in recent years, modern implements, fertilizers, HYV seeds are being used, have become widespread in these countries. There are many countries which have low yield per hectare due to many reasons. Now we will move on to the crops. In Asia, a variety of crops are grown. Rice and wheat are the chief staple food of these people. China and India are the leading producers of rice, and together they produce more than 90% of the world rice. Japan, Bangladesh, Thailand, and Southeast Asia and Southeast Asian countries are the major producers of rice. China, India, Pakistan, and Russia are the leading countries of wheat producing countries. The world's natural rubber and tea come from Asia, Malaysia, and Malaysia, Thailand are the top natural rubber producers. The leading tea producing areas are we are having China, India, and also Indonesia, Malaysia, and Thailand. The other important Asia crops which include we are having cotton, jute, and flax which are being in sugarcane. All these are the other fiber crops which have been grown. They are China, India, Pakistan, Turkmenistan, Turkey, and Uzbekistan are the leading countries of cotton. Children, the jute which is there, it comes from Bangladesh, China, and India. The sugarcane producing areas are in India, which is the second largest producer in the world. Indonesia, Philippines, and Bangladesh also, which produces the sugarcane. Asia is the famous for the production of coffee, cocoa, millets, and variety of pulses, spices, oil seeds, etc. Now we will move on to the next topic, that is the climate and natural vegetation. So when we tell climate, so a climate, Asia is a very vast continent. As we all know, this is Asia, which is a very vast continent. It extends from the equator to the polar region. As a result, Asia has a wide variety of climates. It has some of the coldest lands in the world, that is polar, as well as the hottest areas, that is central and the southwest areas. The driest as also the wettest. We find varieties of climate in this continent due to the several factors like the latitudinal extent, the physical features, monsoons, winds, and etc. See, we can see here children. We are having all these dark color. All these are the rainforest areas, and this is the grasslands area where we are. Grassland areas where we are having. This is the semi-arid areas. Here we are having, these are the semi-arid areas where we are having, and this is the desert area, this maroon color. Then the subtropical climate, when we tell here where we are having the humid subtropical type of climate, and this is the desert area where we are having. And the temperate, when we move to the climate, this is we are having the here we find the temperate climate, and we are also having the sub Arctic climate, and these are the grasslands where we are having, and these are the deserts where we are having. The polar regions is here where we see these are the polar regions, and these are the high land which varies with the altitude. The climate varies along with the altitudes. See, now we will move on to the next topic, that is temperature, children. Temperature, children, also it varies from one place to the another place and from one season to another season. In January, the southern countries are less cold, but the northern countries experience bitter cold. The Verkhovensky and in Siberia is the coldest place. In July, children, the larger part of the continent is hot, with the expectation of northern Siberia and the high mountains and the plateaus of Central Asia. In some places, the temperature will also rise beyond the 40 degrees, so beyond the 40 degrees Celsius, children. Now we will move on to the distribution of rainfall. So most of the rainfall areas in Asia is caused by the summer, that is the southwest monsoons, a warm moist winds. But the monsoons do not reach the central part of Asia, which is the driest throughout the year. And also in winter, the western lights causes rainfall in the western Asian countries and eastern parts of China, the Philippines, Malaysia, etc., which receives rainfall from tropical cyclones. Now we will move on to see we will move will these areas, children, which are there in this color. The rainfall is about 200 millimeters, that is 10 inches, and here where we find this dotted lines, we are having 500 millimeters of rainfall what we get. And this yellow color where we are having, it gets 1000 millimeters of rainfall or 40 inches of rainfall. And where we are having light green, there and all we'll find about 1500 millimeters of rainfall. And where we find this dark color green, in all these area like Dhaka, we are having the Venegan, we are having the Mumbai here, and we are also having the Osaka, Seoul, Wuhan, uh, Hong Kong. All these area, children, they receive the annual rainfall precipitation of 2000 millimeters in these areas. So now we will move on to the winter season. The period begins from October to March, is winter in most parts of Asia. As a greater part of Asia, it lies in the northern hemisphere, children. So here what happens, the rays of the sun what are slanting in the northern hemisphere during this winter season. So most of the Asia experiences a very low temperature and becomes extremely cold. Here, the atmospheric pressure is high in Central Asia and low over the Indian Oceans. Winds, therefore, blow from the land to the sea. They are dry and do not cause rainfall, hence, there is a little rainfall in winter. We can see here, this is dry and warm. Here we get the scattered rainfall. Again here it is dry and warm. Oh, here we are having the tropical threats earlier, like the floods, the tsunamis where it occurs. We are having wet early, we are having the tropical threats here also. And now we will move on to the next, this one, that is the we will move on to the summer season. Here, children, the conditions are reserved during summer. Here, summer season starts from April and it will end in September. Here, the sun shines vertically on the northern hemisphere. So, most of the Asia have high temperature and it causes low pressure in Central Asia. Winds therefore blow from sea towards the land and they cause rainfall in most parts of the Asia. Now we will move on to the next topic, that is natural vegetation. Natural vegetation of Asia is closely associated with climate, but other factors such as landforms, soils, and interference of human beings also have influence on type of vegetation and its distribution. Children, there is a very great variety, diversity in the vegetation of India, and it has been divided into seven major types. They are, we are having the tundra vegetation, the coniferous vegetation, the temperate grassland, the desert vegetation, the monsoon forest, and the equatorial forest and Mediterranean vegetation. Now let us know about the tundra. Now let us know about the tundra vegetation. The green color where you see this color, where we are having the tundra vegetation. This is found in the narrow belt along with the Arctic coastal area. This belt is mostly covered by snow and ice. So plant growth here, children, it is very limited and restricted to mosses and lichens. Then we are having the coniferous forest, or we also called it as a taiga forest. So this is found to the south of the tundra, and we call it as a taiga forest also. So the important trees which are found here are fir, spruce, larch, and pine are the common trees which are found here, and we are also having a soft wood trees here. Next, we will move on to the temperate grasslands. Here we are having the temperate grasslands here. So these are found mainly or to the west of Central Asia in a fringe of deserts and semi-deserts, and this we find it low rainfall which encourages the low growth of grass. Next, we are having the desert vegetation. These are all the desert vegetation where we are having. So this occurs in the tropical and temperate deserts of Asia like Arabia, Iran, Thar Desert, and Thar Desert also. And some we are the important grasses which are grown here are, we find some thorny plants, bushes, and poor grasses which grow here. And also we are having the oasis, date, and palm trees which are found in this region. Next, we will move on to the monsoon forest. When we move on to the monsoon forest, these are found in the South and Southeast Asia. Since the region has a very high temperature and sufficient rainfall, forests grow here. The important varieties of trees which we found here are found here. We are having teak, sal, banyan, bamboo, sandalwood, and many varieties of hardwood trees are found here. And during the autumn season, what happens? They shed their leaves. Now we will move on to the equatorial forest. These are found in East Asia. In East Asia. So here these are found in East Asia, and we are having heavy rainfall areas of the monsoon land, and they are also always they are evergreen forests, and also the trees which are found here are mahogany, ebony, rubber, bamboo, and rosewood, and there are evergreen, and trees are quite tall. Now we will move on to the last, that is the Mediterranean vegetation. This occurs in the Southwest Asia. The important trees are oak, figs, and olive, and they are short trees, and here shrubs are also grown. Children, now we will move on to the next topic, that is the important minerals where we find. So, since the area since Asia, as we all know, is the largest continent and it has a large and varied mineral deposit. So the important minerals which are found here are, we are having the we are having the iron ore. So, iron ore is the main raw materials for the production of iron and steel. So, we find Asia is rich in iron ore reserves and about 30% of the world's reserves. So, here when we find China is a leading country producer, and we are having India, we are having the Philippines, Kazakhstan and Pakistan, where the iron ore producers are. Apart from that, we find in Korea, Taiwan, Sri Lanka and Japan, and the countries of the Southwest Asia are poor in iron ore reserves. Next important mineral is manganese. It is the most important of ferroalloy metals, and this is essential for the production of good quality steel. In Asia, manganese is found in abundance, and also in we find it in Central Asia, Siberia, India, and China. China is a leading producer of manganese in Asia. Next, we are having next mineral, that is bauxite. Bauxite is an important source of aluminum, which is a non-ferrous metal. The largest bauxite reserves are found in Kazakhstan and south central Siberia. Very large bauxites are located in China, India, and Indonesia, Turkey, and Malaysia. Next important mineral is coal. This is a fossil fuel and fossil fuel mineral of plant origin. So this is the very important source of energy, children, and Asia is rich in coal reserves, but it is not evenly distributed. The largest reserves are found in China, India, Siberia, and Central Asian countries. China is the largest possessor and producer of coal in the world. Coal is available in all regions of China. India is the second largest producer of coal in Asia. Recently, it has been found in Kazinits Basin in south central Siberia, which has become a big producer of coal. We are also having smaller deposits of coal are found in Japan and Pakistan. Next, we are having petroleum, children. When petroleum, it is a mineral oil, children, and it is very important source of power for automobiles, railways, ships, and aeroplanes. And southwestern Asian has the largest petroleum reserves, which are located in Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Iran, Qatar, and UAE. In these countries, we find the petroleum. So these countries have about half of the world's petroleum deposit and produce nearly 25% of the world's petroleum. We are also having eastern countries and southeastern Asias which have petroleum reserves. That is, we are having here the Indonesia, we are having China, we are having Malaysia, we are having Taiwan, we are having the Myanmar and Sarawak, India, Vietnam, and also in recently Siberia has increased in the production of petroleum children. So, when we tell petroleum, the word petroleum is derived from two Latin words. Petra means rock and oleum means oil. So, petroleum is a rock oil. Saudi Arabia is the largest producer of petroleum in the world. Now, we will move on to the next topic, that is the major industrial regions. Uh, we are see that we have seen that Asia has a large is in large size and rich minerals and agricultural resources, and also we see that it is less industrialized than Europe. The main reason for this is situations are lack of technology, capital, conservative attitude towards the industrialization, and large population which is engaged in agriculture. An area dominated by industries and industrial activities, children, we call such areas as industrial region. So, industries are concentrated in some areas where they are having some favorable factors for their locations. So, the major industrial regions of Asia is Japan, China, and India. So, in Japan, children, we are having four major industrial regions. We are having the Keihin region, which is the greatest industrial region of Japan. In that, we are having Tokyo, Kawasaki, Yokohama cities. The important industries are textiles, paper, cement, and shipbuilding and engineering. Secondly, we are having the we are having the Hansin region. So this includes the Osaka Kyoto. It is dominated by textiles. Next, we are having thirdly the Isi Bay region, which spreads throughout around the Nogia city, and it is dominated by textile and engineering industries. Apart from that, we are also having the Kiata Kyushu region, which includes Yawata, Kokura, and Moji. And here, the industries which we find here in this region are steel, shipbuilding, chemical, textiles, and machinery industries. Now we will move on to the next. This one is the China. So China is an agricultural country. Industrial development is very limited. So the major industrial regions are Manchuria region is just dominated by where we are having the iron, steel, and engineering and chemicals. Then we are having the Beijing region, which is a developed metallurgical engineering, shipbuilding, textile, and chemical industries. Thirdly, we are having the Changjiang region, which is dominated by textiles, shipyards, steel plants, and engineering. Then we are having the Wuhan region, which is famous for the metallurgical and heavy industries. And apart from that, we are having the Shanghai Botuk region, which has iron and steel industries. And next, we will move on to the India. India is industrial regions. We are having we are having we are having the Hooghly Kolkata region. We are having the Gurgaon Delhi Meerut region, Chota Nagpur region, Gujarat region, Mumbai Pune region, Vishakhapatnam Guntur region, Bengaluru Tamil Nadu region. All these Kolam and Thiruvananthapuram region, all these are the major industrial regions in India. So other Asian industrial regions are located in South Korea, Hong Kong, Singapore, and Malaysia. Next, we will move on to the population of India. We are having 4.2 billion people live in Asia, where it constitutes of 60% of world population. So Asia is densely populated. We had 1.4 billion of population during the 1950s. So the rate of growth has a high until recently. Now it has been decreasing. So the distribution and density. The distribution of population in Asia is also very uneven. We will find that a greater part of Asia is very sparsely populated, but some areas are densely populated. The average density of the population of Asia is 96 per persons per kilometer per square, but it is not uniform all over the continent. The populated areas includes the northern and eastern parts of Siberia, and also which are cold, the deserts of Arabia, Iran and Thar in India, too dry, and the highlands of Central Asia. The densely populated parts of Asia are the Great Plains of India, and we are also having we are having the Bangladesh, and we are having we are having the China, the Japan, Korea and Java islands in Indonesia. Most are these are fertile level lands or river basins. Also, high density of population is found in Myanmar, Thailand, Philippines, Iraq, Sri Lanka, Vietnam, Malaysia and Cambodia. So Asia is in Asia we find different types of people. The yellow people of Eastern and Southeastern Asia, brown people of India and Pakistan, Bangladesh and other South Asian countries. So the Southwest Asia includes Arabs, Turks, Persians, Afghans. So the people of Asia follow different religions. We can see here, this is the population of Asia and Oceania in 2018. So in India we had 1.354 billion population. Pakistan had 2.8 million, Iran 82 million, Turkey 81.9 million, and we also see China had 1,415 billion and Vietnam 96.5 million, Bangladesh 166.4 million, Myanmar 63.9 million, Japan 127.2 million, South Korea 51.2 million. These are the population according to the 2018 children, and we are also having Indonesia of 266.8 million population. So with this we finish up the lesson Asia, a land of contrast. Thank you children.